Dark Force Rising by Timothy Zahn, the second book in the Thrawn trilogy. This one mostly follows Thrawn trying to find the location of the supposed Katana fleet, which sounds kind of honestly a bit of an edgy name for an Empire fleet, but it does kind of get to an interesting idea. It was a largely automated, robotic-driven fleet. Again, Timothy Zahn is writing these back in the days before like the prequels had been even made, before like there was any knowledge of like what droids had in the history of the Star Wars universe. So he is largely making it up entirely, trying to figure out like why were robots just not a major part of warfare in the Empire. And so he makes up this Katana fleet, which is largely automated. Just a great idea. This book particularly is really kind of cool because each one of the sort of original three have their own separate storyline going on. Luke is training with this partly insane Jedi clone. Han is trying to trace down the leads on the Katana fleet and going through the criminal underworld. Leia is sort of coming into her own as like sort of a diplomat. She's trying to get these spy assassin creatures that used to work for Darth Vader on their side. And that's just like a whole cool plot line that's going in the background that has all sorts of implications about different time cycles on planets and stuff. This is a really intriguing book. It's kind of in the middle, which makes things less fun. Nothing like really definitive happens. It's mostly, you can tell, setting things up for the finale, but there's still a lot of good stuff in here. One thing I especially like, which again, you can see Timothy Zahn just sort of taking little tidbits from the original series and making his own stuff with them toward the end of the story. It's like this huge revelation. It's like, oh, clones are back now. Remember the Clone Wars that were like mentioned in episode 4 and we never had any idea? Now Admiral Thrawn has clones and they're nasty. They're like there's something really twisted about clones. Because at this point in time, there was like no background to what Clone Wars were. So Timothy Zahn makes them like these inhuman contraptions that just are like really twisted with the Force. And that's a really incredible idea, really, in a lot of ways. It does, I think, rely a lot on unusually good luck for the protagonist. But that's like, that's Star Wars. That's what happens. The protagonists are just incredibly and insanely lucky. So again, a fun story, a lot of kind of cool things developing. Yeah. Again, quite a fun book, especially if you're interested in the extended universe.